So this is a topic that I've gotten a lot more into in the last couple months than I really thought I would be, and I felt like it was something that I wanted to kind of share what I knew. There's a lot of like basic stuff that I knew from when I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Starting in 2019 and really following a lot of Market Watch in that, knowing how the sealed and singles market for trading card games work. I think there's a lot that we can apply to Final Fantasy. So I wanted to kind of go over like the beginner's guide. I'll have like some like more in-depth bits and pieces here and there towards the end, but I'm going to go over things like pack ratios, how the market works, what's in each product, things like that. So why is this important? For a lot of people, it really isn't. However, trading card games do cost money, and part of that money that you spend is intended to be in that you get a collectible asset that you can sell, trade, or do something with other than play the game. Even if you don't have any interest in it, some of this will be interesting to you regardless. If you play the game at locals, you're going to get packs. It's nice to know what the chances of those packs having good things are. Quick disclaimer, because I'm not an investor. This is not financial advice. I don't know the future of product or your bankroll. Take this advice or anything I say at your own whims. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say that real quick before anybody goes out and buys a lot of boxes of like Final Fantasy as like a sealed investment or something like that. I don't think that would be a horrible decision at times, but we'll get into that more later. So, a box of Final Fantasy TCG. I should have an empty one lying around somewhere here. What comes in a sealed box of Resurgence of Power? You get 36 packs with 11 cards per pack. You get 7 commons, 3 rares, 1 hero or legend, and 1 foil card that can be anything from a full art to a common to a crystal token. That is for modern product. Full arts did not exist prior to, I want to say, Opus 10. I think Opus 10 was the first set to do them. But yeah, this is what a booster box looks like. It's rather chunky. If you don't know, maybe you've only ever played Octagon, the cards are standard TCG size for your sleeves. Do not buy Yu-Gi-Oh! Sleeves, they will not work. And yeah, that's what a box of Final Fantasy looks like. These are the pack ratios. They're not guaranteed. If you buy a box, you're not guaranteed to get this. But here are your actual chances at anything in particular. So if you want just a legend, you want to play the game. If you're opening packs, 7 out of your 36 packs will contain a legend for about 19.4%. Basically, a little over 1 in 5. If you wanted a foil legend or a foil starter, they're similar-ish slots. It's like 3 to 4. Usually it's like 1 foil starter, 2 foil legends is usually what I see. But it's about an 8% pull rate for those. To get a full art, you will get guaranteed, well, just about guaranteed, 2 full arts per box. This does not include a crystal token, and some boxes will contain 3 depending on the number. Getting any particular full art, you will get 1 per 12 boxes, which is a 0.2% chance of getting any particular full art. This is important for when a full art is a particular chase card you're looking for. This is per pack, by the way. I did give like the actual box ratios for the ones that are a lot higher. For this signature card, that is for the exactly 1 card at the moment, but will be expanding in future sets. But it is the signature Yuffie, which I do not have. You will get 1 in approximately 48 boxes. 1 out of every 1,728 packs will have 1. Yes, they are very, very, very rare. There's a reason that the card commands such a high price tag right now, beyond just, oh, it's Yuffie and it's the high rarity version. Pre-release kits. You'll get 9 random packs, no guarantees whatsoever. You'll get 1 set of sleeves, and you'll get 1 pre-release promo and full art. Depending on the set, the pre-release promo can be fantastic, like it was for the Afmal last set, or it can be useless, like the Squall was this set. I joke, the Squall seen more play than I thought he would, but still not really the dream card. The pre-release promo is generally a hero. I believe that's been pretty consistent. The sleeves for this set look incredible, though. These are some of my favorite sleeves of all time. Starter decks, MSRP, $25. You can get these very cheaply on TCG Player, though. That is something that I really think that Square Enix needs to fix. They need to find a way to make these hold value on the secondary market. It's very unfortunate to say, hey, your locals just picked up a case of starter decks, but you can get them for $13 online. It's a really hard sell. I think they just need incentive for these to be opened, whether that's adding some number of foil cards to it. I think like the easiest way to do it would be to make a couple of like the starter foils into the foils in this and remove them from boxes. I think printing a singular copy of a needed reprint card that has been hard to find into the reprint schedule. Chocobo Summon, Amaterasu, Bismarck, just like one copy of it per starter deck to kind of like reintroduce some non-foils into the market to both lower the prices of those and keep the price of the starter decks high. But regardless, $25 for the MSRP. You can get them for usually $15 on TCG Player if you don't have a locals that's selling them. New cards will premiere in the decks. They are very, very good a lot of the time. And I think that you can usually buy a starter deck and actually get a decent ways into building a competitive deck. If you are interested, in my channel I have links for at least the last couple of starter decks that give you like playable out-of-the-box archetypes that you can upgrade to be playable for somewhere in the range of $20 to $50. These are some cards that were originally starters. All of them have seen competitive relevance since they were printed. Some of my personal favorites being the Rydia and the Noctis. So, we're going to go talk about buying singles. So we've gone over, I'm going to go ahead and switch out of my nice little presentation. So what are singles? Why would you want to buy them? So we're going to bring up the pack ratios again. So this is about the ratios for what you would get if you bought a box. And you'll notice that if you were only looking to pull cards, legends, you don't usually get repeats unless you get a foil legend and a non-foil legend, and a lot of times you'll want playsets of all the legends. If you buy a box, you'll get about a playset of all the commons, all the rares. You'll be a couple heroes off, and you'll have to pick up a lot of legends as singles. But what I don't recommend doing is buying just, if you're looking to just play and you don't want to like sit around with a bunch of extra cards, you can buy singles. What are singles? So singles essentially are the TCG Market's way of kind of helping with the randomness inherent to packs. If you wanted to build a sealed only deck and you needed a playset of legends, you're going to open a lot of packs to get there. You're probably looking at spending upwards of $400 or $500 if you can't, find someone to trade with, right? If you're looking for sealed only. So instead, we can go to TCG Player. And let's say I really, really, really like Red Rose's Yuffie list. So I'm going to go type in Yuffie. And you can see Yuffie is about a $5 single. I can pick up any copies of Yuffie for about $5, or I can get foils for about $10. How does that work? Why is that a thing? This is like the same price as a pack, but most packs will not have a legend or higher in them, right? Essentially, what buying singles from people do is they take the risk and the gamble for you. They're essentially, you're kind of funding their gambling for the full arts, for the signatures, for the foil legends that are worth more money, and you're going to buy them from them. And this, in a lot of TCGs, especially, this is really true of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! You know the exact number of cards you're going to get if you open a large quantity. If you open a large enough amount of product, the randomness inherent in opening it is not going to change that much. So you can do what's called estimated value pulled. It's going to get kind of mathematical, but this is how the singles market works. I'm going to go pull up a calculator. If you or I go and buy a box, we're going to pay about $100, right? But that's not what distro level people are paying. So distro level, they're probably going to say, hey, I'm buying these boxes for 65, or I'm going to say 70, make the math nice and round. And their options are they can either sell that box at the $100 to consumers like me or you, or they can open the box and attempt to sell the packs and the cards inside for somewhere around the total of $100 to $120. And the way you do that is you break out your likely pulls over a large number of products. It's very easy in Final Fantasy because if you open a full master case of Final Fantasy, you will get a full play set of foil legends and one of each full art. So you know exactly what you're going to pull except for the signature Yuffie. And you can math it out. You can say, I'm going to get $5 in bulk cards that I expect to sell in the next bit. And I'm going to get, so I'm going to open that box, and it's going to have 7 legends. Maybe the average legend is going to be worth $4, right? So plus 28. And then my 3 foil legends, they're going to average about $7 a pop, right? And they can say, well, I'm getting 2 full arts. Maybe those 2 full arts are worth 20 each. And you can see you kind of start to get to the point where they get to crack open a box and sell the pieces for relatively cheap, which is great for consumers like you and me that are trying to play the game. But they can make money on it as well. Vending is what this is called in the TCG world. It's a lot of work. And good vendors are people to keep on your side. There's a lot less of that in Final Fantasy, and it's what leads to a lot of strange things. So I'm going to go on TCG Play. I'm going to kind of show you what I look at a lot of the time when I look at the product. I usually like to sort by market high to low. This will usually bring the legends to the top, and then any like valuable heroes will be around there. You'll notice Resurgence of Power is actually holding very, very well. We're down to only 8 listings of boxes. Cases are worth more than the actual boxes inside for sealed booster cases. The introduction of the signature card really did a lot for the game as far as making it a game that people can probably safely invest in. I think that Resurgence, if you had a sealed case, that case is probably going to go up in value over time because of the chance of the Yuffie. I also think the Amana FF7 characters were a really, really good way to add additional value, which is funny because none of these cards are super playable. Like the most playable one is the Cloud by far. But you'll notice that like even the Aerith and the Sephiroth have quite a bit of value. This Aerith looks incredible in person, by the way. But you'll see what happens here is that because these cards are so valuable, even the full arts are only about $20 a pop. Usually, if we go to a different set, let's go to Crystal Dominion's a really good one for this. So I'm going to remove the Resurgence of Power. You'll see Crystal Dominion, there's a lot more cards that are higher, and then a lot more full arts that are kind of lower. But none of them are nearly as broken up as Resurgence of Power is. And you can see there's, one legend's about $14 per copy, and then the rest are, about down here. Lady Lilith's gotten bought out lately. And you can kind of do this across the board. It's really interesting. Maybe someday I'll have like a little bit of a discussion on what I think for different sets. For example, I think Rebellion's Call was a really unhealthy set for the game, given booster box is going for $69. Essentially what this means is that the distributors are selling this at a loss to get this off of shelves. That's really not healthy. If multiple sets in a row did this, then Square Enix would probably have to revamp how they do their sealed product, or they would have to find something else. Like, they would probably just struggle to find retailers to carry it. Sucks. It's a pretty playable set, but the other thing that you'll notice is that because none of the full arts really get you back the value of the box, it's pretty hard for it to continue to stay up there, which leads to other issues for playability's sake, which is that the legends in this set, if I filter by legends, these are all a lot higher than legends from other sets are. Like Xdeath being about a $6 Hien, Glaciella. Just in general, legends should be about $4 on the high end. Actually, these have even come down a bit, which is kind of scary. Glaciella held at about 20 for a very long time, but she hasn't actually seen a lot of tourney results. Yeah, you see how our market trend is just kind of going down over time by quite a bit. But yeah, you can kind of evaluate. It's a little bit of a cynical way to look at cards, I'll admit. But once you start kind of knowing what to look for, it becomes very interesting. We can do the same thing with Resurgence of Power, and you can see, let's remove the Rebellion's Call from here. If you go down past the full arts, Legend Sephiroth is $8, Yuffie's $4, and then the rest of the set is very playable and very cheap, which is fantastic. This is great for playability's sake. I know there was a lot of complaining early on about how you can't get a Yuffie full art if you buy a Master Case, which previously you could buy a Master Case and get everything. But I'm sorry to the people that used to do that. It's been a very healthy change for the game to have the Chase Lotto card as far as a reason for stores to have this. I think that the box prices of Resurgence very easily showcase why that should be a thing. So you can go to sealed products here, and you can see. Let's get rid of Resurgence. Yeah, you see that Resurgence is still way more valuable than anything that's not old and out of print. Yeah. As far as other places to find singles, there's a couple. eBay is a really nice one. Pretty easy to do. Just type in whatever you want. Again, I'm going to say I'm looking for Yuffie. And you'll see there's plenty of different options, whether it's the foil starter, whether I'm looking for the signature card, so on and so forth. Let's say I don't want Yuffie. Let's say I want to buy, I don't know, what's a decently playable card from this set? I want Fran foil FFTCG. And there you go. There's two full arts. There's a near mint Fran foil, another Fran and foil. Double check, because the market for this game is so small. You're going to want to check back and forth between eBay and TCG Player quite a bit. Looks like Fran's actually been bought out quite a bit on eBay. She's worth a bit more there. One more thing that's really useful on eBay is to go here and look at sold items. This is especially important if you're looking to trade or sell. And there have not been any Frans and foil sold on eBay, which is probably partly because they're significantly more expensive there. One last place that I've actually bought singles, I bought Glaciellas from Card Cavern once when Glaciella was significantly more expensive. You see she's sold out now, but in general you can always go. There's definitely like places to kind of shop around and see. I believe in general the Card Cavern is a little more expensive than TCG Player, but it definitely is going to vary a bit. So, like, I think that's about right. Yeah, so you can definitely kind of see, you know, your mileage may vary, but just one more place to kind of shop around and try to find where different cards are. So you go price high to low. You see they have no Eufees. Booster boxes are $99, which is cheaper here than it is on TCG Player. The Cloud, if you wanted a Cloud, it's a lot cheaper here than it is on TCG Player because of Cloud's buyout recently. Lena, I believe, is, let's get. So again, I've used them before. At least the one time I used them, they were just fine. So I'm not sponsored or anything, but yeah, that's just about all I got. If you guys have any questions, you guys want to learn more, if you guys want me to kind of do every now and then to kind of talk about cards that I would consider buying at the prices they're at, I can do like a little mini market watch like once a month. But yeah, I think that just about covers it. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.